It may hang at the crux of wedding anxiety, but the dress is only the start. And no one knows better just how fragile the fairy tale than the bride herself.
The table plan working out okay, speeches working out okay, the weather.
I think I was really nervous about walking down the aisle, having everybody looking at me.
They know something of what Meghan Markle might be thinking. The celebrity news site TMZ is central to the story, apparently blindsiding Kensington Palace. First reporting less than a week out, her father won't be walking her down the aisle as planned. Embarrassed over this, staging paparazzi photos. The actions, says Meghan's estranged half-sister, of a man overwhelmed by media attention.
I mean, they've presented him in the most horrible ways, highly inaccurate, and the goal of those photographs was basically because he was feeling defenseless.
The palace defends him too, calling for understanding and respect, but confirming nothing.
It has backfired in the most appalling way. I feel very sorry for him. I feel very sorry for Meghan. No bride wants this on the eve of her wedding.
A story still with headlines that must include question marks. Who will walk her down the aisle Saturday? Speculation, it could be Markle's mother. It wouldn't be the first time. Queen Victoria did just that for her two daughters after their father, Prince Albert, died. Today, Meghan's father changed his mind. To catch up to the roller coaster, it's back to the website of TMZ. One last twist, and finally some clarity, according to TMZ anyway. Thomas Markle won't be attending the wedding because of heart surgery. Hers is still a fairy tale, but it's meeting reality. Nala Ayed, CBC News, London.
Well, you heard mention of Markle's mother there. She will arrive in London from Los Angeles, where Meghan was born and raised. Today, students at her former high school held a special tea and toast in her honor.
We know that she went here, and she still talks about this school. That means that this school really pushed her to be the greatest person she could be.
Really cool that she's gone to do such great things with her life, and we aspire to do those things when we grow up. Yeah, it's really cool that she went here and walked these grounds, and we're at the same place.
Lots of excitement at Immaculate Heart High School today. Hundreds of students, Union Jacks in hand, gathered to sing, dance, and cheer on their royal alumna. Meghan Markle graduated there back in 1999. They probably won't all marry princes, though. So while most people will be watching the wedding from home, more than 100,000 are expected to be there in person for the big day. Thomas Degla took a royal tour on a double-decker bus as the city prepares for a tourism boom.
Boarding now, a bus tour with a twist. A tribute to Prince Harry and Meghan, slowly snaking its way through London traffic. There will be a helping of history for these royalists, but first, tea in those spill-proof cups for the bumpy ride. Then, of course, fresh scones, served with a lesson in British English.
Scone as in gone, or rhymes with gone, and that's the pronunciation.
The menu for this afternoon tea was chosen specifically in honor of Harry and Meghan, like this avocado and crab creation for Meghan's home state, California, traditional English finger sandwiches, because we are in England after all. And how about these maple syrup cream puffs in honor of Meghan's temporary home, Canada? Don't mind if I do.
With the special menu come the bites of history, a view of Westminster Abbey, the site of many royal nuptials.
The last wedding to take place here, of course, was Prince William and Kate Middleton.
And later, a peek at the Albert Memorial in honor of Harry's great-great-great-great-grandfather, surrounded by the greenery of Kensington Gardens, as close as we'll get to the couple's home.
I come from London. I know about London, but I've never seen it like this.
We're American and she's American, so it's kind of exciting to think that one of our own is joining one of theirs.
Oh, I like that.
Thank you.
I'll do that in my life.
There's still time for some bubbly and wishes for a long, happy marriage.
I'd like to talk about the disasters, the weddings that have gone completely pear-shaped, you know.
Hopefully this one won't.
I don't think this one's going to go pear-shaped at all, because they're quite open, they're quite honest. I think they actually are marrying for love.
This tour may be over, but there'll be plenty more celebrations on the road to wedding day.
Thanks, Bob.
Thomas Dagler, CBC News, London.
It looked like a really tough assignment for him. Among those making the trek to London, 2 women from BC. We caught up with them before they left from Victoria.
Well, I think after going to the last wedding, Kate and Will's, and experiencing that, we just had to go back to this one.
We met so many people, and I think the fact that we were wearing such loud and proud Canadiana, people came up and said, "Hey, Canada," and started chatting away, and it broke the ice.
What we're going to wear is these funny little hats that I made, and actually, if you want to look at the inside, look, they're a little ladybird from the dollar store. And red and white, and our proud flags will be part of it, and we have backpacks as well.
We may have to represent Canada. Since there won't be any politicians there. We'll represent the seniors of Canada. What do you think?
I think that's a great idea.
Adrian is in the UK tonight as we get set to cover all angles of the royal wedding, as we already have, including, of course, though, growing up in the shadow of his mother's death and how it has propelled Prince Harry to follow in her charitable footsteps, even returning to the same HIV clinic where Princess Diana made such a difference.
Diana is everywhere here. And now that it's her son who shows up, it's the spirit of her he sometimes seems to look for.
He loves to hear the stories of her visits here.
Carrie tells of a miraculous woman who had met Diana as an ill child but survived. Harry had questions for her.
She said to Prince Harry, "I remember cuddling up to her on her lap and how soft and comfortable it was." And he said, "I remember that well."
And of course he would. His memories are the frozen ones of a child, just 12 with those clenched fists walking behind the casket of his mother.
Tomorrow night, Adrian brings us the National from London. Thursday and Friday, she will be in Windsor. And don't forget to set your alarms and coffee makers. Adrian begins bright and early. Saturday morning, we'll give you a front row seat to the wedding of the year, beginning at 4 a.m. Eastern, unless, of course, you're getting married. That would be your wedding of the year. Watch the royal wedding, Harry and Meghan, CBC Television, CBC News Network, cbcnews.ca.